Now, just as a little recap on the logbook, you should have all of the pirate data, all of the Chozo lore, all of the research, and of course all of the artifacts. Although it's not really possible to not have all of the artifacts, so hey, whatever. But as far as creatures go, you should be missing this one and the last 3. So, if you're missing any more than that, then you screwed up somewhere. But hopefully it's not a big deal like, you know, the ice shriek bat. Maybe it's just the seedlings or the tangleweed. Then you can consider yourself fairly lucky. And I'm just gonna go on ahead and use the boost ball to get around a little faster. And just go on ahead and do stuff. Wait for the big room to load. And just about to return the 11 last artifacts. Get access to that impact crater and get rid of that worm. Get rid of all of the Phazon and fix the damage caused by the meteor. All of that good stuff. Though, it does feel like there's something missing. Something unsolved, unfinished. Words. You know, after all of that messing around with the pirates, you kind of forget that Ridley is a thing that is around. Last time we saw him was in that cutscene where he was supposedly headed to Phazon Mines, according to what I've heard, but we didn't see him there, and Phazon Mines was in the exact opposite direction of what he was flying to. I don't really trust the people who say that. I say he was just... I say he was headed to the Chozo ruins to check up on hunter activity. You know, seeking out Samus for a little brawl. And then when the pirates realized that Samus was doing all of this artifact stuff for them, they just decided to have Ridley wait around and do his thing once the portal had been opened. Unfortunately, he broke the portal, so I'm not really too sure about that plan either. Whatever, that's not really important. We're just gonna have to take him on and try to hit him as he passes by, because it's just completely impossible to hit him like this. It's just not gonna happen. At the very least, he only does it 2 times and then he appears right there in the middle and you can fail to hit him. And this shockwave, at least it feels a little... Stop hitting me with your wings. That is such bad manner. Just slapping me with his wings. The shockwave that Ridley has, at the very least it feels different in that it kind of just hits you as soon as he lands, rather than the whole electric wave that the elite pirates had. So you're gonna have to jump before he lands, rather than jump some kind of wave. Yeah. And you might try to use the wave beam to home in on him when he flies across the field like that, but it's not gonna hit him. He's way too fast for that. Just try to avoid the bombs if you're not if you're concerned about dying on this fight, then I guess avoid the bombs. Really, he's almost down to half health and I've lost, what, a single energy tank? Something else. I know it's just silly and all to argue with game physics, but still. I'm knocking Ridley around and he's staying in the air. What the hell? Does he have a hidden jetpack or something? Are the wings completely unnecessary? What? No. I know they're not unnecessary. What am I saying? I don't know. I guess if they had to go with bird logic, then this fight wouldn't be very enjoyable. There's no way. It's game design, damn it. Sometimes you're just gonna have to say if reality. It doesn't matter. And you just stay here so I can hit you multiple times. Then he just runs away. What are you even doing down there? Are you thinking of your next big entrance? He has a pretty cool coming up and stuff entrance when he comes up like that, but still. I wonder what he's doing down there. And I'm not even trying to dodge anything at this point because I'm just waiting for him to let me hit him. Just get that last hit in on him. He should be down to his second phase. Yes. Yes. Now, I will say something about this phase. Or the entire fight in general. Because this fight is the only fight in this particular game that can be completely broken by something rather unusual. It happens a bit more in the later games, but at least for this first game, this was the first fight. It was the only fight to have a thing like that. And what I'm referring to is a little trick where you use a rather unorthodox item to do damage to a boss that does ridiculous amounts of damage. And this is not possible in the trilogy version, so don't even ask why I'm not showing it. Even if I did, it would completely skip the cutscene of his wings burning because... Well, I should get to the trick already. What am I'm rambling. The trick is that whenever he lands in the first phase, if you were to use the boost ball on his feet, he would instantly go into the second phase, completely skipping the cutscene of his wings spinning off. And then there's another trick for this phase that only worked in the American version. Because the Americans got a very wimpy version of Ridley, whereas the Europeans and Japanese, they got a badass version because generally Japanese and Europeans are just better than Americans. Hate. Hate all you want. I don't give a damn. Basically, pretty much what you could do in this phase was just use the Wave Buster, and as soon as Ridley would open his mouth, which is how you get him to stand up, he would, as soon as he opened his mouth, he would just stand up, so the Wave Buster would completely destroy him. But because it takes more damage for him to get up on 2, he's on 2 all the time, but he's kinda hunched over. So that's kind of semi all force. I don't even know. But it takes more damage in later versions to get him up like that. And because of that, the Wave Buster trick doesn't work. I have tried it, and that was the thing that I said I might use the Wave Buster for at a later date, but turns out it doesn't work, so hey, what are you gonna do? And that should do it. And as you can see, the Chozo ghosts that were linked to those artifacts, totems, they were still around. The only friendly Chozo ghosts in the game. And they kinda decided they had enough of Ridley and just... they lasered him, safe to say. Blasted him with lasers. I'm not sure what I'm getting at with that. That is just kinda random. I'm just kinda random. And then... well, I have lost a few energy tanks, so might as well. I don't really feel like saving, but... energy fully replenished. That also skips that animation. The only time I saved was in the gunship, so... at least I want to make sure that you get to see this animation. That would be kind of a cop-out on my part to not show that. That would be really lame. So, there you have it. There you have it. I saved. And coming into this room, we have the single most disappointing final... I guess the final boss is the final enemy, but it's the final normal enemy. Really, it's just another one of those parasite-like creatures. The Lumigek. Doesn't do a damn other than do a little bit of damage to you. But you know what's more interesting? This Keivorn right here. This is a special kind of Keivorn that is never seen anywhere else. And it hurts. Yeah. Even though you have the Keivorn suit, this is still going to hurt you. It's some kind of hardened Keivorn that has become a thing because the Cypher sealed this entire impact crater thing off from everything else. So the Keivorn was kind of just sitting around and decided that it wanted to become hardened Keivorn. That's the only time that has ever happened. What the hell are you doing? Yeah. There's plenty of fish and Metroids to fight in here, and I'm gonna go ahead and fight them. Normally I just skip them, but there's stuff that I want to talk about. So I figure that dealing with these guys is going to give me the time I need to talk about stuff. Yes. Talking about stuff is very, very important. It is what I do. So, that's another fish in Metroid. Where did the ice one go? Or is it? No, it isn't. It is the ice one. The ice one is really weird because it looks like the standard fish in Metroid in that it's all white, gray. But anyway, those pirate data that I said talked about the final boss of the game. It's kind of funny because apparently the space pirates managed to capture it. Yeah. Space pirates managed to capture the final boss of the game. That's just weird enough in itself that they would be able to capture it. Especially considering that it's supposed... like, the final boss is in here. And this place, until just recently, was completely sealed off by that cipher. So, how the thing got in here, or how the space pirates got in here, I have no idea. That is never explained. So, on that note, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. And I'm just gonna use the power bomb because too many of these guys. Oh, you didn't get hit. That's just lame. But yeah, apparently the space pirates managed to capture the final boss of the game. Then of course it broke out and dismantled the equipment, made it part of itself, and now it has all kinds of armor and guns and weaponry, and it's just not a very pleasant creature. Yeah, not a... okay, that other one just... too many fish and Metroids. Yeah, so when I say that it kind of spoils the final boss, it also explains why the final boss has the attacks that it has. Because with the amount of stuff that I know from having played the later games in the Prime series, there's just unanswered questions about it. I don't know. At the very least, I think it's fitting that when I fought this boss the first time, it was like, what the frack?